Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. My name is Vicki Puliz. I am a trustee of our Rotary Foundation.
Namaste everyone, my name is Saloni. I'm a Rotary Peace Fellow from 2017 to 2019. I had the absolute privilege to study at ICU Japan Rotary Peace Center. Today we're going to be here to talk about the Rotary Peace Fellowship and just the absolutely amazing transformative experience it's been, not just for me as a Rotary Peace Fellow, but I can say this with absolute certainty for every single individual who gets the privilege to be a Rotary Peace Fellow. So Trustee Vicki, as a Rotary Peace Fellow, let me express my sincere gratitude for this absolutely generous, unconditional fellowship that we get. And we're meeting here today to encourage more Rotarians to identify individuals that are eligible and that are the absolute perfect fit for the fellowship, but also to non-Rotarians, all those who are watching this, your NGO workers working for state governments, central governments, working in the social development sector. This is Trustee Vicki who goes through the final round of assessment for our application. So we are with the right person here. And we want to know, as a key assessor, what is it that you're looking for when you're going through the application?
Well, thank you, Saloni. First of all, thank you for that gracious description of the Rotary Peace Fellow. It's certainly an investment that Rotary members make to help build peace in our world, and you are a perfect example of that, and so I'm so appreciative to see you there. So, pardon me. Let's talk about the application. So first of all, realize that the application is done online. It is not open to members of Rotary. It's not open to Rotarians. So we're really talking to people who are not members of Rotary, but Rotary members. We should be searching for these really good candidates in the world and encouraging them to apply. So the application is online. It will open in February, and the deadline is May 15th. And so it's very important that you realize that is a hard deadline on May 15th to apply. We get about 1,500 applications a year, believe it or not, for the 5 master's degree programs and the 3 professional certificate programs. And so as you go online and check that out, realize that you will be asked to complete some essays, you'll be asked to complete a video, you'll be asked for some recommendations, your resumes, and some other items like that. So allow enough time to be sure you complete that. One of the things that Saloni and I were talking about is what happens after that application comes into Rotary. And I wanted to just describe, without getting too complicated, the process that we take with your application. And so first of all, our staff go through and make sure that all the technical requirements are met. And so that's a pretty easy process, just following what those requirements are in the application. And then from that, every application is read by 3 Rotary evaluators. And so those are people who are on the Rotary Peace Center Committee, they're former Rotary Peace Fellows, they're people who are involved in the peace field in some way, and so very interested and invested people in the peace process. And so 3 different people will read each of the applications and do a rating on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. Among those 3 evaluators, if there's more than 1 point difference between the 3 evaluators, those 3 evaluators come together. They call it a divergent score, and will actually reconcile that score. And so all of the applications are ranked. It's a very careful reading. I may say that the evaluators read these applications very carefully. So as you're working on those essays, know that somebody is going to be looking at that and really looking at your words and hearing what you have to say. From that standpoint, the applications go to the universities. You will rank 1 or 2 universities as your first and second choice. And so the applications then go to the universities. The universities do their own ranking and may actually do an in-person interview with you or a Zoom interview with you if you're one of their top candidates. From that point, our Rotary Peace Centers Committees takes the Rotary evaluations, the universities bring their evaluations, and we meet together and we reconcile that into our final list that are the recommended Rotary Peace Fellows, and that goes to our Rotary Foundation trustees for final approval. So it's quite a fulsome process.
That's amazing. The first time when I heard this from Trustee Vicki, it it made me realize the responsibility that we now have after we've received this generous fellowship and the education of how and what we need to be doing after. And just to take a moment to reflect on it, for me, it's been a transformative experience across academia, which has seeped into my professional and just my overall perspective on life and my role as a human part of this world that we live in, right? So for me, I chose ICU Japan for its qualitative research. At that point, I was 25, met all of the different criteria. I can't believe I went through all of this intense application.
You don't even remember all of that, yes.
I had no idea. And the fact that I got selected, I feel even more in awe of the fellowship. And I don't want to say I was, it may have been a mistake or something, because hey, I got the fellowship.
No, it was
and
not a mistake.
Done, but it's the responsibility feels even more stronger now. I found something I didn't know I was looking for, which was academic space to place myself in and place my own pursuits in, which is a post-colonial researcher. So today, post 4 or 5 years since my fellowship, I'm a published researcher on post-colonialism that works on the intersectionality of law, gender, again, all areas that I've been working in even before the fellowship, and of course continuing it more and more since the fellowship. And that takes me to my professional work, which before I started the fellowship, I was someone who worked at the micro level at a very strong grassroots base. It was, what we say as blinders on, right?
Blinders or blinkers?
Blinders or blinkers. Thank you. We've been talking a bit about that. And they were invisible for sure, but when I went in for the fellowship is when I realized that the world is more connected. Yes, the languages are different. Yes, the culture are different, but the people are the same. The challenges are the same. The laws would be different, but the concept of justice is equal. It's the same everywhere. And I was able to take best practices from one of the projects and looking into implementing it on a totally different side of the world. And that's something I've been continuing it more and more. And today we are doing this at the convention, where I've been able to meet with more individuals with more shared interests across the world over. And it again has been just another round of transformation, which again, how many people can say that in their life, and they've gone through so many cycles in the same foundation. But hey, I'm lucky. And for anyone that's watching this, that's feeling inspired, it's not just me who's lucky, everyone's lucky. So please go ahead and look into the application, and surely consider yourself for applying for this.
And we can certainly tell that the application process works, because this is a great example of a Rotary Peace Fellow and the passion that the people who graduate from the Rotary Peace Fellowship have for making a difference in the world. Should I talk a little bit about
Please do, absolutely.
So a question that Saloni had asked me earlier was, what were three
key essentials?
Key essentials in the application process, speaking to those of you who may want to apply. And the first one would be to be as articulate as possible about your intent with the Rotary Peace Fellowship. One of the things I look for specifically is, what do people want to do with that? You just heard Saloni give a beautiful description of how she learned about research through her fellowship, and it really broadened what it was that she wanted to do. But she had something in her heart. She had a reason why she applied for the Rotary Peace Fellowship. So I would say, in your very best way, to be able to share that. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that heart. And please do not feel the need to use excessive use of artificial intelligence. Your words are the most important thing. And so having your true message and your true feelings about what it is that you want to do in the world after your Rotary Peace Fellowship is the most important thing. Secondly, I would say leadership. Leadership potential or demonstrated leadership is one of the things we look for in the applications. And so be able to demonstrate through examples from your university experience, from your volunteer service experience, or from your university experience, some examples of your leadership. Because we're really looking for people, again, who can make a difference in the world. And if you need those skills to be able to influence people, and the courage to influence people through the peace process. And I think the third thing I would say is showing resilience. resilience in the face of obstacles. Saloni and I were talking, and peace is not for the faint of heart. And so we're looking for people who can have that ability to stand up to difficulty and to be able to overcome it, to achieve peace in our world. So Saloni, I have a question for you. If you had to give a message of peace for all of those people who are listening, what would be your message of peace?
That's amazing. I think for me, the message for peace is don't lose hope. Don't only look at those above you. Look at those behind you and pull them up. Pull them up to where you are, bring them up to where you are. And don't think about, oh, it needs to be this big scale thing. It needs to have this funder. I don't have this. I don't have that. It's a long list of everything that we don't have. But think about what you do have, and that's you. Trustee Vicki here has given us 3 very important points: leadership, intent, and resilience. Each and every one of us has them. Let's tap into it and bring the people up from wherever they are below us, get them to the point where we are at, and therein you've already started working as a Rotary Peace Fellow. Trustee Vicki, that same question over to you. What's your message?
My message for peace would be that each and every one of us have an ability to influence peace. I lean into a definition of peace that I heard through the Positive Peace Activator program, a program with the Institute for Economics and Peace. And that definition is that peace is not simply the absence of conflict or war. Peace is creating conditions where individuals and communities can thrive. And when I think about Rotary, I think that is a definition of Rotary and Rotary members, creating conditions where individuals and communities can thrive. And so in each and every service project, whether it's a local service project, maybe even reading to children in a school, or handing out a book or a dictionary, all the way to global grants where we're influencing clean water and sanitation in countries, or ending polio, or working on maternal and child's health, or disease prevention and treatment, or supporting our environment, or any of our areas of focus. Every act of service is an act of peace. And that's a quote I borrowed from a friend of mine, so I need to give that attribution. The other thing I would add, just one more thing, is to be sure and thank all of the Rotary members and all of the donors to our Rotary Peace Fellowship program. You can see the evidence of what your investment is doing, how you are changing the world with 1,800 Rotary Peace Fellows that have graduated. This is an investment that is so worthwhile. And again, thank you for your generosity, for your donation, and for staying in contact with our Rotary Peace Fellows. In fact, that might be a question we can add is, I'm always curious how we can create better connections between our Rotary Peace Fellows and our Rotary clubs and members. Do you have some ideas, Saloni?
Oh, Trustee Vicki, we don't have enough time, but I'm going to give a very brief summary of this, right? We all love learning, and there's so much of unlearning that we need to be doing as well. So I think for the best way that Rotarians and Peace Fellows can co-create peace that's sustainable, that's inclusive, that's accessible for all, is to meet at the learning desk, where we are learning things together, we're unlearning and relearning the same concepts, right? And then there's a brilliant way for us to exchange ideas, to share knowledge, because each one of us is coming with so much, right? From the Rotarians with regards to all of their different experiences, to the Rotary Peace Fellows, where so many of us have been at the grassroots, exactly where, like you said, from environment to hygiene, to maternal health, each one of us can be those bridges. It's like the game of Legos. Each one of, we place different, and then a beautiful masterpiece gets created, but it takes all to create that masterpiece.
Yes. Together we create peace.
Absolutely, 100%. And looking forward to doing this with Trustee Vicki, who's been absolutely generous with her time, with her insights, with her patience, because she's been speaking with me quite a bit, and we've had so many different ideas.
Yes, such a pleasure.
It's been an absolute honor for me. And to everyone watching this, you get a network, but a network that's not just meant to be transactional, a network that's meant to be wholesome, that's meant to be holistic, that's meant to uplift each other and the communities that we each want to support. That's what you get with the Rotary Foundation and with the Rotarians. And to everyone that's considering about applying for the Rotary Peace Fellowship, go ahead. Identify a Rotary Club around you. There is one surely in your district. Wherever you're watching this from, you have one. You can go online and find a Rotary Club is indeed something that you can Google. Identify one. It's unheard of for a Rotarian to not respond back saying, yes, I'm here to support you. Yes, I'm here to help you. Look up for the Rotary Peace Fellow Alumni Association as well. We're all here to support you. Find us through LinkedIn, find us through the World Wide Web, and we're all here to encourage you and to make you the next Peace Fellow. Thank you so much.
And if you're a Rotarian watching, be sure that you reach out to the Rotary Peace Fellows. And if one reaches out to you, be sure you respond. They are delightful. They may have project ideas for you. You may just enjoy their friendship and learning from them as well. It's an inspirational relationship. And so thank you again for all the Rotary members who are engaged with our Peace Centers, who sponsor our Peace Centers, and thank you to all the Rotary Peace Fellows.
Thank you so much. We're all very grateful and wish you all a great day ahead. Thank you
Thanks
so much.
much.
Thank you. Bye.